It's your girl, Miss Ruby V, and this is the Boom Bap Hour Uncut. We have a very special guest with us today, Omen44. How you doing today?
Doing great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. It's a wonderful Saturday, so thank you so much for taking your time to be with us this evening. And so let all the people around the globe that are listening know who is Omen44 as an artist, and tell us about what you have going on right now, like your newest project.
Yes, ma'am. I go by Omen44. I am a Asiatic artist. I just got a album out last fall on December 27th. The album was called Hentai. I have Skyzoo, Planet Asia, some artists from France, French artist that goes by Fizzy Pizzy and Kayo Itachi on it. I have some Japanese producers on it, the Daddy Mix, Mantle, who else? Gladys Nice, quite a lot of folks on it. Yes, from east to west. It's a little Olympic Games going on there with all the countries.
I see that. Got some global love going on. That is wonderful. I love to see that. That is so awesome. So I saw that was really cool. So you are originally from Kobe, and that's a city on Osaka Bay in central Japan. I've always wanted to go to Japan. My sister went and I saw it looked so gorgeous.
Yes. Oh, you've been to Osaka before, ma'am?
No. Well, I've always wanted to go to Japan. Whenever I see pictures, I just say it looks just so gorgeous.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, it's close to Osaka. Kobe. I think Kobe's famous for its beef, right? Kobe beef.
Oh, and wow. That's so cool. So you learn something new every day. And so you're actually based out in New York now, right?
Yes. I'm based in right now I'm actually living in Jersey City, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yes, but yes, New York sounds a little bit more fancier, so I tend to say New York, Mecca. Yes, a lot.
Dope. That's so cool. Yes. So you are now releasing your highly anticipated album, like you were saying, Hentai, which features an elite selection of hip hop heavyweights, which you definitely named. And it just, definitely, as you were saying, it's a global collective. And so tell me what your inspiration was behind the album, and like what experience do you want listeners to have when they hear the album?
When I finished it and listened it back, it reminded me of Jazzmatazz 2 from Premier and Guru. It's basically the album, but it reminded me that, and the way I featured a French artist was, yes, definitely inspired by that too, I guess. So I felt like it, that's where I actually started from, coming into the game, like, okay, I started my rapping thing back in the 90s, right? And when I started, this strange story too. The first Japanese rap I was introduced to was from a American artist, De La Soul, actually. De La Soul actually featured a Japanese MC, a group called Chadarapa on their Balloon State of Mind or something album. And that's how I got to notice there was some Japanese folks that was in the game, that was rapping, And from there, I started it, started rapping, but before this, I had some friends that was actually dancers, and like that kind of knew that. Well, we don't. It was hard for us to grasp exactly what was going on back then, you know, because
Mhm.
we didn't have that. This is before the internet era, so like we actually needed to go out and figure out. Like we needed people to know. Like we needed to get connected with people that knew the game, you know, that knew what was going on even.
Yeah.
So because I still remember to this day, like the first hip hop video that I was actually introduced to was Tribe Called Quest, Can I Kick It, and KRS-One, Love's Gonna Get You. And this was through this media called, this was through Japan's national TV. It was a program called Sony Music TV. And it was, they were playing that very late in the night even. Um, so from there, I got into this, I got into the hip hop thing and, you know, build it up from there. Like, and started off from listening to Microphone Pager, Buddha Brand. Shout out to Nips. I just finished this album, Japanese album last year. No, it was 2 years ago already. It's been 2 years with this guy from with this artist in the name of Nips. He was in this group called Buddha Brand in the 90s. They're considered like the Japanese Wu-Tang. So
Wow.
yes, I was blessed, you know, blessed to grab a, you know, mic and drop a composition with him even.
That's
Um,
dope.
yes. So, you know, this hentai was, you know, all that, you know, everything combined. And the, the thing that the reason I had all these different producers and artists getting on the tracks and all that was like, you know, I wanted I wanted these Asian folks, Japanese folks to, you know, notice that the world out there is not too far, you know, and it's getting closer and closer. And we gotta thank this internet environment too, you know, that gets us more closer too. And like at the same time, you know, we can promote ourselves on the web that can just spread out really quick even. And
Definitely.
yes, so like, you know, it was it was the yes, so it was me coming back to that source. It's, you know, basically my music is based on Mecca boom bap, New York boom bap, but at the same time, you know, I have a song called uh Never Think Twice that's actually on a trap beat too. But you know, the thing is, I kind of want to be challenging no matter what, even if I get, you know, even in this age, you know, because you know the music that I grew up with was, yes, gangsta, you know, roots or something like that, a Tribe Called
Mhm.
Quest, but like, you know, at the same time I was listening to DJ Crush and stuff, you know, and like DJ Crush or even like DJ Cam from France, you know, these people would like incorporate trance music into it. These people would like um, incorporate techno music to it. Like even with a um, Bristol movement in UK, you know, they had like the jungle music in the background and the, you know, hip hop, trip hop kind of stuff, you know. So I was definitely influenced by all these music. So, you know,
That's beautiful.
yeah, so
It
like, you
really
know,
is.
so, you know, the thing is, you know, I, so I rather like call myself hip hop and trip hop and I have all kinds of influence inside, you know. So
I
I'm
love
trying to
that.
incorporate all that into it, you know.
Yes, yes. And the
But
great thing about it is that like when you get so many, as I'm listening to you talk about, how you are influenced by all these different, types of music everywhere in different places. It's just a beautiful thing to be able to even, because you have more more to draw from when you are being creative in a project. And I just think that's a beautiful thing. I love it.
thank you, thank you. But
Yes,
at the same time, I don't want to lose that. I myself is a 5%er, and the reason that I became a 5%er was like, from definitely, I I, I started off from listening to Wu-Tang and all that, and noticing Wu-Tang getting influenced by these Asiatic cultures. I even wondered why. When I first saw Raekwon, I was like, yo, why does he having has this Chinese name even, wait, Juan, wait, like, but, as I digged in deeper, I noticed the whole Asiatic influence in the culture, even with the 5%ers, that's why they talked about, that's why Big Daddy Kane would say, Asiatic acrobatic or something in his line. Like even with Rakim, he would say Asiatic because with that 5% influence, talking about, knowing the knowledge and all that. Like even
Mhm.
with Big Daddy Kane, if you break his name down, it's King Asiatic, nobody equal, And like even De La Soul would say, brother from the East, keeping it thorough, like that's that 5% influence right there, even, So, it was just, I think it was natural for me to come in from that source, and to understand it in a deeper conscious.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, that's wonderful. That's definitely wonderful.
And like if you listen to Jizza, the first Wu-Tang album that I actually got introduced to was actually Jizza's Liquid Sword. And he
Okay.
has a set Jizza's Liquid Sword. You know that album? Yes. And it actually starts from a sample from a samurai movie called the Lone Wolf and the Cub, because it comes in like my father was a great samurai warrior or something like that. You
Okay.
know, yeah. So like so definitely like it. So you can I can say that's my roots, and at the same time, at that moment, Asia was already into that blended into that hip hop culture already at that moment, and yeah, me just bringing it back to that roots and bringing it back to the source. This is nothing, nothing new. It's just, yes, it's just going back to it's just, you know, how should I put it? Even like just following the steps of the pioneer.
Okay. Okay. Yes, definitely. Now, what would you say made you initially, well, we love to ask this question to our guests, what made you fall in love with hip hop? What was the thing that just made you fall in love with hip
Like what I said, it's that inspiration like that I got at the beginning, I guess, like
hop? Mm-hmm.
it was just it was so many cultural there was so many inspirations back then, really, like it was
It's
just
especially back then,
yeah,
definitely, like in that time frame.
yes, just like like hip hop back in the days. Yes, they talk about MCing, graffiti, dancing, and all that, but beyond that, like if you're a producer, you need to know songs. If you're gonna build build or make a track, you needed to know all these sample sources. You needed to dig all these music back from the 70s, even from the 60s, just to get
Mm-hmm.
that right sample and all that. Like there was so many things you needed to know. There was so many things that you could just educate yourself with. And that was that was just deep to me, you know, and it was deep to me, like to understand all that culture, to understand that whole background to it. You know, I took time doing it, you know, like and put besides that, you know, like English wasn't my first language, so I needed to build up with that too, you know. So there was quite a lot of stuff to educate myself with, and I never got bored, you know. So I guess it was something to just keep myself busy, even, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
And that's
So
awesome. Even that, you had to even learn English and you got so masterful and, just how it all just, came to fruition. That's really a great story as well. And Yeah, definitely before we wrap it up, we just want to know everywhere that we can find all of your music. Give us your website, social media, everywhere that we can hear Omen44.
yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay. You can find my music on Spotify, uh, SoundCloud. Wait, let me do this one by one. My social media link is Twitter and Instagram, and it goes by Omenfor, Omen44 in alphabet, everything in letters, Omenfor. I have a Twitter account and a Instagram account. And for the SoundCloud and the YouTube channel, it will be The Plug International, which is my label. The Plug International. You can find the YouTube channel and the SoundCloud channel. Um,
So
yeah.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on and, chopping it up with us today.
Thank you
And
for having me, Ruby.
yes, thank you. We're definitely going to be playing some new music from Omen44. And this is the Boom Bap Hour Uncut. Keep it locked. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah.